In this recording, in our series of drilling operations, we'll be going through our tap cycle. Now that we've created our hole already with our pre-tap hole, which was an 8.8 millimeter hole, we're going to do a new operation by simply going to save and copy and creating a new operation again with the previous geometry. And this time, when we go to the tool, we're going to select the tool that is a tap. Now the tap I'm going to select, I've already defined it beforehand. The tap itself is a 10 millimeter tap, which has a pitch of 1.25 millimeters. Now, we have the feed and spin rates that we can give it. However, when I choose the tool and I look at the data for that tool, you'll note that the feed rate is grayed out. That's because the feed is already automatically calculated according to the spin rate of the tool and the pitch of that tool as well. So if I do this, for example, at a spin rate of 1000, you'll see that the feed rate changes itself accordingly. Now let's continue to our levels. In our levels, I'm going to leave it still at automatic. I'm going to have it at the exact same drill depth, but taking a look at the tool again, we can see that the chamfer length of the tool, as shown over here as well, is 2 millimeters. So I want to go at least 2 millimeters past the bottom of the hole. So I'm going to give it the levels and with a delta value of, say, minus 3 millimeters. When I go to my technology, you'll note that since I already picked a tapping tool, it will automatically give me the tapping cycle as well. So all I have to do now is save and calculate. But before that, I'd like to go through my passes, clearance level, and again use the option of shortest distance. Save and calculate, run my simulation, and this time I'm going to do it using Solid Verify. And you'll see that the tool will go down, tap that area, jump over this area, and then tap those holes as well. Now, there's one other way to deal with a tapped hole, and I'm just going to go into it briefly in this particular recording, and that is the option of thread milling. Now, thread milling in itself will have its own little series of recordings, but let's touch on it now. From my drilling operation, I can go directly to a thread milling operation by simply clicking on the technology area where it says to drill on the arrow and choosing the option of thread mill. If I choose the option of thread mill, we go into the thread milling technology. I'm going to choose my tool, and let's actually create a tool. I'm going to create a new tool, a thread mill, and let's see what the kind of information it's asking for me. The first thing it asks me is what's the standard I'm looking for. Well, I'm looking in this particular case for a metric standard. I'll choose metric. When I do that, it asks me what is the actual size of the hole that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go down, and what I'm looking for is an M10 by 125, and that's this hole over here. And it even tells me what the drill preparation hole should be. I'll click on OK, and what it does is it gives me a cutting diameter. Just check my tool. Let's just give it a 6 millimeter cutting diameter. Number of teeth is how many teeth it has going up. I'm going to leave it at 2. It gives me the shoulder diameter. I'll put my shoulder diameter at 4 millimeters. And we have all the rest of these options over here. Levels, we have our upper level, the actual depth, and I want to go actually a little further, say minus 3 millimeters, and I'll keep that exactly the way it is right now. And if we go into our technology, we have the following. It gives me automatically the major diameter, the minor diameter, the direction, it's a right-handed thread. If I want to work from the bottom up, which would be climb cutting, and finishing or rough cuts. I'm just going to leave it right now at finishing, And you can see by the links, it automatically fills in the values that's needed for the arcs. Let's do save and calculate. Let's take a look at our simulation. And if we take a look at the tool pass, you'll see that it's a tool pass that works its way up and then goes to each hole. In other words, it goes in a helical fashion according to the pitch of the thread and then finishes each hole. This concludes our recordings in this series of drilling operation.